Hello everybody, it's Tim here again. I have another movie review. This time I recently just watched the movie The Craft Legacy. Finally watched it. It's been out for a while. Just to go ahead and give my rating from 1 to 4 stars, I'd give this a solid 0. Problems with this movie, I'll just go ahead and say up front, is probably what you've heard in a lot of other reviews. This movie is really woke, like really woke. It's not as bad woke as Black Christmas was, but it's still pretty bad woke. It's also not as bad of a movie as Black Christmas was, but it's close. This is a 0-star movie. The cast in the movie, the new cast of females or girls or whatever who become the witches, their acting is good. I didn't really have a problem with it. The mom, played by Michelle Monaghan, I didn't have a problem with her either. She's a good actress. I like her. I have no problems with her. The acting in here is mostly fine, except for David Duchovny, who's like really sleepwalking through his role, and his role is written like really bad. It's like this real male chauvinist stereotype type character who's just so badly written. That's pretty bad. But basically, the girl's mom, Michelle Monaghan, marries into this new family, this David Duchovny and his 3 sons. And she starts going to school, and she like has her period by accident in class, and the bully dude in there's like making fun of her, and all the other kids are laughing too, which is kind of weird because of a girl like in my school would have like had her period in the middle of class. Most people would have been like freaked out. They wouldn't have been going ha 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 ha. Yeah, that usually wouldn't happen. But anyway, so I like when she becomes friends with the other outsider girls. I kind of like the camaraderie between them. They have pretty good like chemistry between each other. The girls do, and their friendship and stuff is much better handled. I think actually is better handled here than in the original Craft. The original Craft is a much better movie. But in the original movie, the girls didn't really have a friendship. They kind of did, but then they just automatically turned on each other, just like halfway through the film when one of them kind of like gets defected from the group. And they just automatically just all turn on her, and any friendship building they had up until then just kind of goes out the window. It's handled better here. The girls really do have a much stronger friendship here and care about each other. The school bully is like this dude named Timmy or whatever, and this is really bad. Like they do a spell on him, kind of similar to the first one. The trailer made this movie seem like most of a remake of the first film. It's not as much of a remake of the first film as you would think when you actually watch it. It's really not. But they do tread too close to the first movie at times. But it's not as bad as the trailer made it out to be. But anyway, they do a spell on the bully guy to make him be like his best of himself or whatever. And he turns into like this real like stereotype cuck type of a dude. Or whatever you want to call it. And he's like going around telling everybody, I'm cisgender. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's really cringy bad. And then you find out the dude is like secretly bisexual and like slept with one of David Duchovny's sons, which is, and he's like crying about it because he's like ashamed of the fact he's bisexual or whatever. Which I appreciate the movie trying to put in some like real issues about like what gay teenagers and stuff like that would go through in America and stuff. That's cool. That's fine. The original Craft had feminist messages in it, but they're handled much better. The problem with like these woke movies is to make it real cringy. They do it like so in your face, and it becomes cringy, and that's what makes it woke. That's the reason they don't work. Like in the original movie, the bully or whatever who gets transformed doesn't go around going, "I'm cisgender." Here's what the guy does exactly that in this. It's pretty cringy. It's pretty bad. And then he ends up getting killed. You find out later it was actually David Duchovny who killed him. Spoiler alert for the ending. You find out David Duchovny is like some type of leech creature or something, or man or whatever, who zaps power from witches and takes it for himself because he views females as weak and men as the strong. It's really, really bad writing in that way. And the dude and David Duchovny's like a writer and a seminar guy or whatever who goes and like coaches men to not be weak. And on the back of his books, it always says like masculinity. Like it literally says that. It's so bad. And at the end of the movie, what's weird is the witches like team up to take him out, and they kill him pretty much by setting him on fire. You don't see it though, I guess, to keep the rating PG-13, so it's kind of lame. But then you skip to the next scene, and Michelle Monaghan is like, you find out her daughter is actually adopted, and she's taking her to go see her real mother. And it's like, what about David Duchovny's sons? They like don't even get mentioned again. Are they going to be the bad guys in the third one if we get a third one? I mean, what's the deal with that? Their dad just got killed by this girl. They're going to hate her and want to kill her themselves. That doesn't really work. It's completely glossed over. But she takes her to meet her real mom. You find out she's adopted, and her real mom is, spoiler alert, Fairuza Balk from the first movie, who played Nancy. And it's cool to see her there, but once again, it's like, well, this is just thrown in just for a setup for a sequel that we don't even know we're going to get. And I don't think this film's going to get a sequel. I don't think it did that well, even on streaming, and plus all the bad reviews it got. It got mostly bad reviews, or mixed to bad. So I don't really think this is going to get a sequel. So ultimately it makes the ending tease completely pointless. So all in all, I'd have to give it a 0. This movie is just a colossal waste of time. The Craft didn't really need a sequel. The only way The Craft would really have needed a sequel is if they made one like back in the mid-90s or something and brought back the complete original cast, Robin Tooney, Neve Campbell, and everybody else. But with this later, it doesn't work. And like the tone of this film by the end of it feels like a teen like witch Lifetime movie, really, honestly. This isn't the worst like sequel or movie I've ever seen, but it's still bad. All in all, this is a 0 out of 4. Don't watch it if you really like the first one. It's not really going to taint your memory of the first one or anything, but it's just kind of a waste of time. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.